It's Mark Scholaro from MS Classic Cars coming right back at you with another beautiful vehicle. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely striking 1969 Chevrolet Camaro SS backed by a GM ZZ 572 crate engine pushing 620 horsepower. To start off this video here, this is a non-rehearsed video. There might be some information that I do forget during this presentation, so please visit our website at msclassiccars.com. This video, like all of our videos, could be long, boring at certain points, but the point of the video truly is for people who are interested in purchasing the vehicle, and I want to go over as much information as possible. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, you will note that I only collect number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. I've been doing that since inception. You can check out all the vehicles that we've sold over the years on our website sold page, again at msclassiccars.com. You will find over 700 vehicles on that sold page. We are the only classic car dealership in the country to service everything that we sell. We document the work with an invoice, which is pictured within our photo gallery. We make it so the owner has no surprises when they get the vehicle. We stand behind what we sell. Again, we're very proud of that. Once the vehicles are done in the service department, we bring them into our detail room. We detail them to the highest level. And then, of course, we present over 150 photos per vehicle, showing as much of it as we possibly can. And then we have this video here as well. When you call or email, you will deal directly with me. I also will assist with all of the enclosed transportation. We even cover the car with a plastic cover once it goes inside the enclosed trailer. So again, feel very comfortable, very confident in purchasing a vehicle from MS Classic Cars. To start off this particular presentation here, I just want to read one paragraph that I've written that talks a little bit about the history of this particular car. As I just mentioned, this is a very striking car. It has a very sexy look to it. When you see it, it's a combination of the color, a combination of the hood, the super nice wheels, but it also is a vehicle that is extremely fast, and it's been built very, very well. One of the things that I want to first start off by saying is it has its original trim tag, which indicates that the car was built at the Norwood factory as a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro SS 350, and it was painted Azure Turquoise, which was the exterior, with a black bucket seat interior, which it still has today. The car was a product of a rotisserie nut and bolt restoration, which took place in 2014. It was restored very similar to factory specifications. One day, I was actually sitting at my desk. Somebody knocked on the door. Older gentleman actually answered when I opened it, and he said, "I've got a Camaro out here that was just restored. I'd like to sell it." I walked around the car, looked it all over, fell in love with it. Him and I struck a deal. I at the time did not have my own service department, and I was subbing all the work out for all my cars, and I decided to hook up with a company that was actually in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and these two guys that were running the company and I had been talking about building some sort of a supercar, and when I found this car, it was already done. I figured I would transform it into what you see here today. So I did that, and I invested almost $50,000 in the build with that company, turning it into what you see here today. I then sold the vehicle as soon as we listed it for sale in January of 2015 to a gentleman. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2017. I want to say he was somewhere around 70 years old or so. His son actually called me back to see if I'd be interested in purchasing the car. Of course, I would love to have this car back in my collection, so I did indeed buy the car back. Again, that was in 2017 when he had called me, or when he passed, and he called me in 2018. So during the time of ownership, he only drove the car 300 miles. What we did is we put it into our warehouse. MS Classic Cars always has between 50 and 75 cars. We only can get about 8 to 10 cars a month through our service department completed. So a lot of times when I buy vehicles, we put them in our warehouse, we cover them up, and then we get to them as we schedule them. This particular car I was able to get to in around that July, August timeframe. And then, of course, we sold the car again as soon as we listed it, which was in August of 18, to another gentleman. That particular gentleman actually invested a little over $4,000 into the vehicle during his time of ownership. As I do with a lot of my customers, we became friendly. He actually called me in November of 2021. He said, "Mark, I'm liquidating some of my classic cars, maybe going to be moving and so forth." So him and I struck a deal. He actually personally delivered the vehicle back to me here at the dealership. I was super, super happy to get it. And that again was in November of 21. We started servicing the vehicle in January of 2022. We just finished it February of 2022, and here we are today. So that's kind of the story of this particular vehicle. I did invest, as my invoice indicates, in this brand new binder that I do make for every single vehicle. The invoice will show here that we invested a total of $14,549.44 in this particular vehicle. You can again see this invoice in our photo gallery, read through it, and see everything that we've done. So it's a car, again, that had a full restoration. At the time, it was probably a $50,000, $60,000 car. I then went and invested an additional $47,000, $48,000. It was almost $50,000 into the car. And then the gentleman that I purchased it from, the last person, invested $4,000. So there's been a ton of money. And then, of course, we invested $14,000. So this is a car that was kind of done over time to what you see here today. So again, it is a super car, super proud of it. Normally what I do is I start to talk about the exterior, the interior, the trunk compartment, the engine compartment, and the undercarriage from inside the vehicle. But with this particular vehicle here today, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the vehicle. I'm going to do a full presentation on it, and then I'll get back inside the vehicle to do a cold start. So let's go ahead and do that now. Thank you. Okay, so now we're at the exterior of the vehicle here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a complete presentation starting with the entire exterior. As I make my way over to the driver's side door, I'm going to open the door, just briefly touch on the interior features. I'll do the same thing from the passenger side. When I get back to this side of the engine compartment, I'll go ahead and open that hood, show you the engine bay as well, then we'll talk a little bit about the undercarriage and then wrap it up. So let's start by, again, saying that the exterior of this vehicle is very, very striking. Of course, the beautiful 69 Camaro body style is one thing, but this color is spectacular. When you dress it with this unique hood and those special wheels, it really just adds the icing on the cake. So let's start with the hood. Looking at this hood here, this is a Corvette Stinger hood. It's fiberglass. It was obviously custom done here. These cars didn't have these hoods from the factory. They either came with a flat hood or a cowl hood, so this definitely makes this vehicle stand out. The hood is in absolutely beautiful condition. I'm going to use my flashlight here just to kind of go over everything. I would like to point out as many imperfections as I can to be as transparent as possible. The hood is in absolutely beautiful condition. The only thing I'm going to say about the hood is all fiberglass hoods tend to bow, especially when they have certain style hinges like this particular hood here has. I'll show you those hinges later when I get into the engine bay, but you will clearly see that there is a slight bow here in this hood, which again is very common. It's nothing that's a major deal, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody was fully aware that the hood does have a bow. There's nothing that you can do to improve that. So again, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned it. Now that we're looking at the front of the vehicle here, again, gonna get my flashlight out, see if I see even the littlest imperfection at all. I don't see anything that's worth mentioning. Making my way down to the grille here. This is a brand new grille. Those are Sylvania headlights, they're halogens, they're brand new. This bumper is a brand new bumper. It's in beautiful condition. Again, remembering this car was restored in 2014. So when I say new, I'm talking about new during the time of the restoration. Down below here, we do have a carbon fiber spoiler that was added by the gentleman that I actually purchased the car from. That was actually added, I believe, in 2021. So that is indeed new. Absolutely beautiful. So this entire front of this car is immaculate. Making our way over to the driver's side front fender here. Start with the top side. It's in beautiful condition. If you see me wiping anything off, it's just trying to get some of the dust off. I will note that there is a little imperfection right there. Nothing major, it's been touched up. Making our way over to the side here, it's in beautiful shape. You'll see the 572 badging. Normally that's where it would say 350 or 396. First generation Camaro. Again, the fender's in beautiful condition, no scratches, no dings, no dents. We got these nice Camaro emblems here. Again, everything is in beautiful shape. While we're on the front fender area, we'll talk about these wheels. I actually ordered these wheels brand spanking new. It took about 8 weeks for them to be made from a friend of mine named Zach, who owns BOZE Forged out of California. These are called Lateral-G. They're a great wheel. We thought they fit this car like a glove. And of course, once we got the wheels here, we wrapped them with these brand new tires here. These are actually Firestone. They're Firehawks. These are a great tire. Looking for the number actually on the tire right there, 245/40 18s. The front wheels are 18 by 8s, so nothing too crazy. Again, when the car was in our service department, we upgraded the brakes and we put on 4-wheel Willwood disc brakes. These are 6-piston black calipers. You can see that the rotors are drilled and slotted. Again, this whole setup here is brand spanking new. Making our way up to the top of the vehicle here, just to touch base on the windshield. The windshield's in beautiful condition. All of the stainless trim on this car is super nice. It actually is very close to the body, which is great. There is a little tiny crack here, very common with these cars. Sometimes in the corners you'll get a little crack. It's not really that visible unless you really look for it. The top of the roof is in beautiful condition, no imperfections to speak of, no chips. This is all in beautiful shape as well, all these polished moldings. Getting down to the mirror obviously is new. That was replaced during the restoration. Now, talking about the door, again, I don't see any scratches. I don't see any big chips or anything worth mentioning here. There is maybe the slightest little imperfection there. Again, it's barely noticeable. Actually, that wasn't even a chip. That was actually a piece of dust. So there's an example of how picky I'm being right now. But getting down to the doors here, they're in super condition. These moldings do have a few little tiny scratches in them. That's just from getting in and out of the vehicle, which is very common. Again, in super nice shape. There is one little imperfection somewhere right here. Little tiny imperfection in the paint. Again, no big deal. Only thing worth mentioning on the passenger or driver's door handles are new, and so forth. While we're over here, I'm going to go ahead and just open the door and just kind of touch base on the interior here quickly. So as all the photos will indicate, this entire interior was completely restored. There's nothing in this interior that's original. Everything was, again, replaced new. The headliner is in absolutely beautiful condition. No wrinkles, it's super tight. That is kind of a unique dome light. It's an LED light bulb, so it's a very faint light. These sun visors here, everything has been replaced new. They're very tight. New rear view mirror. The dashboard is all new. The dash pad is new. While we're on the subject of the dash, I'm just going to go ahead and sit in here. It does have brand new gauge cluster here. This is part of that gauge cluster. And the gauge cluster houses the Autometer Pro Comp Ultralight gauges. You can see we got a tachometer here. We got the speedometer, gas, and we even have a functioning clock, which you can see is currently working as the vehicle has got its power on. All the astro vents are new, steering column, everything in this car was replaced new. Now this center console here, this is a full floor console. It also has 4 individual Autometer gauges that match these gauges here. And when the vehicle was at our service department, we actually did change the shifter that was in this car. I was never really a fan of that. It had some ratchet style B&M shifter. We put the original style horseshoe shifter. Rather than using the wood trim, we actually wrapped it with carbon fiber. We thought that would be kind of nice because it matches the lower front carbon fiber chin spoiler that I showed earlier. So again, this came out beautiful. It does have a 15.5-inch Budnick steering wheel. This is a brushed steering wheel, which matches the wheels perfectly. They refer to this steering wheel as the Velocity. Again, this is a great steering wheel, perfect size. And again, door panels are new. Door sills are new. The carpeting's new. It's got a set of custom floor mats in here. It's got a very nice sound system in here. It's got a JVC head unit. It's got 2 speakers in the kicker panels. It also has 2 speakers in the rear package tray, and it does have an infinity amp in the trunk compartment, which I will show you as I walk around the car. The last thing to mention in the car is these beautiful seats. These seats were actually added by the gentleman that I purchased the vehicle from. He added these in 2021. These are Pro Car seats. They're referred to as the Pro 90. He wanted something that didn't have as tight of bolsters like the other seats had, but these are in beautiful shape and they do have headrests. All the seats in this car, including the back seats, also have seat belts. So again, it's an absolutely beautiful interior. Everything is new and everything is in working order, okay? Now, making our way over to the rear driver's side quarter. The body on this car is beautiful. It's a super nice body. Again, this is a great driver, this particular car here. I would not put this car on the elite level of quality. I would say it's at the super high end of driver quality. Some people might argue that, but knowing the cars that we've owned and we've sold at MS Classic Cars, we've owned some of the best cars in the world. I'm not gonna put this car in that category, but I'm going to say that this car is super nice, better than most that are advertised for sale. Again, the rear quarters in great condition, no imperfections to speak of here. I'm being, again, very fussy with this flashlight, trying to find any single scratch. The guys in the detail room did a great job. Again, here are these beautiful wheels. Again, BOZE Forged Lateral-G. Again, brand spanking new tires, Firestone Firehawks. These tires are expensive, as you'll see in the invoice, $275, $35, $19. If you remember earlier, I had said that they were staggered. So we got 18 by 8s in the front, 19 by 9s in the back. And of course, there are those brand new Willwood disc brakes that look absolutely gorgeous. Again, we picked black, just thought it would match perfectly. As we make our way over to the back of the car, again, The glass in this car, by the way, is all brand new. It's tinted. The side glass, the back glass, everything is brand spanking new. It is beautiful. This is PPG. The paint in the back here is in super, super nice condition. The rear spoiler, again, it has this very unique stripe that they designed to kind of match the Stinger hood stripe. But again, you can see there's no cracking in these lines, which typically you find with first-gen Camaros. Everything is very nice. I don't see anything here that's worth mentioning. I am going to open up the trunk here and just show you that amplifier. Again, you can see all this in our photo gallery, but you can see how beautiful the back side of this is. Everything is super nice. If you see anything, it might be a little leftover compound dust or what have you, but it's got this really nice carpeted mat back here. Everything was sprayed with the correct style trunk splatter paint. But there's that amplifier I talked about. It's tucked away. It's got a fire extinguisher here that's just basically held down by Velcro. Again, just absolutely beautiful. Everything is nice. The rear bumper's brand new. Again, during the restoration, all the taillights, all the taillight bezels, bumper guards, emblems, everything is in absolutely beautiful condition. Again, this opens and closes very nicely. You can hear it. Making our way over to the passenger rear quarter. Again, no imperfections on the roof to speak of. Quarters are beautiful. All the stainless trim, again, has been polished. Everything is tight. Just looks stunning. Again, I don't see anything worth mentioning here. Even these marker lights were replaced new. Fender trim's new. There's no point in talking about the wheels again. You can clearly see they were brand new. Tires are brand new. Again, making our way down here. These fins were, this is all replaced. Moldings on the bottom are replaced. New door handles. Trunk lock was new. Door locks are new. Now, as I make my way down here, you will see there's a couple little tiny imperfections in the paint here. Again, this is very small. Just want to make sure everybody is aware of everything. Be as transparent as possible. There's a couple more little tiny marks down here. Again, nothing worth getting concerned about. Again, this mirror on here is brand spanking new as well. I'll open this door. You can check out how gorgeous the interior is. Again, look at how nice this dash pad fits. The glove box, the grab handle, carpeting, door sills, seat belts. Here's the Pro Car label for the seat, door jambs. The windows in this car also, while I'm on this subject here, roll up beautifully. Right up, and notice when I roll them up to the top and we shut the door, see how this is actually nice and tight against the gaskets all the way around. Not always the case with these cars. Again, a crystal clear glass, brand new. Making our way over to the passenger front fender here. We have the slightest little imperfection there. Looks like something in the clear coat. Again, the top of the fender here is in beautiful condition. You can see that little bow that's in this hood. Again, very common. Making our way down the front fender here. I don't see any imperfections that are worth mentioning. Again, brand new wheels, brand new tires, brand new fender trim. Everything is new. This car is gorgeous. All right, so now what we can do is open up the hood and show you the engine compartment. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the hood here. You'll notice how light this hood is because it's fiberglass. Starting with the mechanism here, you'll even see how they use these nice polished Allen bolts for the hood mechanism here. You will see a little tiny chip here or there. Again, I want to show you everything I possibly can, but they did a nice job finishing the back side of this hood so it looks very nice, very neat. I will comment the first thing off by saying you'll see the firewall and how nicely done the firewall was. That's all been smoothed and so forth. You'll see that original trim tag that was stripped of its original black color, and then it was polished just to add a little bit of character. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, those billet aluminum hinges are absolutely gorgeous. The alternative to, a hood bowing, if you don't want to have the pressure from those shocks and the hinges, is to add a pop rod. But with a car like this, especially if you're at a car show, the last thing you want to see sometimes is a pop rod. But anyway, those are very nice. They are expensive hinges. I believe those are Eddy Motorsports, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, let's talk about the heart of this beast here. This is a GM Performance, right from GM, ZZ 572 crate motor. This motor is rated with 620 horsepower. This is an absolute beast of an engine. Currently on the intake, which is the intake that comes with the engine when you buy it as a crate setup, has an 850 CFM Holley carburetor. It's got this really nice Spectra air cleaner here, which I think looks perfect. It's got these K&N oil breathers here. There's actually 2 on that side, 1 on this side. You'll notice some of this fuel lines here, trick flow fuel lines. You'll see thermostat housing here, how nice everything is. The clamps, the hoses. You'll see how they have these billet separators. Everything was just done to a really high level. You'll notice the low car transmission dipstick in the rear. You'll see the Taylor wires beautifully wrapped around through these wire separators here. They look gorgeous. Chrome dipstick. It just goes on and on. But most importantly is we have this entire March Performance, what they call front runner system, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is a style track. That's what they refer to it as. It's just an absolutely gorgeous deal. If you were to purchase this motor today with this accessories and everything else that's on this motor, this is well over $20,000. This is a very expensive deal here. They still sell this crate motor today. It's been known for great reliability, great performance. This car is very fast. When we look at those headers, because these blocks sit taller than your typical 454, 396, etc., they do require a little extra clearance in the hood, hence why they used this hood as an example. And you also have to do serious modification work to your steering system, to your exhaust system, and things like that. You also need the right cooling system. So as we're talking about the cooling system, this is a Wizard cooling radiator here, fully polished aluminum. It is beautiful. It's got dual electric fans here. This was, I think, somewhere around $1,500 just for the radiator. And then, of course, all the things that go along with it, even this little nice Chevrolet encrypted radiator cap here. Now, getting into the headers, those are Dynatech headers. Those are custom made for the 572. I want to say those headers were over $1,000 when I had the shop originally do this deal. It was kind of an expensive endeavor. And those headers connect to a Dynatech 3-inch fully polished exhaust system, which again was a very expensive endeavor. It's not super loud, it's not quiet, it's got that perfect kind of tone to it. You'll hear it when I start the vehicle up. And when we serviced the vehicle, we did add a brand new battery here. We wrapped all of the negative and positive terminals and everything in this sheathing. We do have a battery disconnect here, so when the car is being stored, you can disconnect the power. You'll see these nice Fender braces here. These are adjustable. They're super nice. We added this 572 radiator show panel. It kind of is a cool deal. I believe we bought this from Custom Innovations. But anyway, you can see all the attention to detail. Again, this is a very detailed engine bay. They did a beautiful job. Last but not least, over here we have this Wilwood master cylinder, again, which is set up with all of the Wilwood four-wheel disc brakes. The braking system in this car is excellent. Oh, one other thing before I forget, you'll notice this really nice power steering pump. That's all billet. It matches the Style Track system. This is not included with this. This is something that was added as another accessory. It's got a custom water pump, fuel pump. It just goes on and on and on. Talking a little bit about the transmission. The transmission in this car is a 700 R4 with overdrive transmission. The transmission was built to handle a lot of power. It does have a high-performance stall converter. It even has a transmission cooler with a fan that we added, again, at MS Classic Cars. You'll see that on the invoice. And the power is transferred to the pavement through a completely rebuilt 12-bolt posi rear end. Again, you'll see in our undercarriage photos how beautifully everything was done. The headers and the way they collect to the exhaust system, the transmission, you'll see the oil pan, you'll see the transmission pan. Everything was done to a very, very high level. The undercarriage of this car is super, super clean. Again, definitely not a vehicle you'd want to get caught in the rain with. It's nice enough to put mirrors underneath if you wanted to go to a show, but I wouldn't say it's at the level where you would want to tilt the car sideways and put lights underneath it. It's just a super nice undercarriage. All the suspension system has been upgraded. There's a lot of Hotchkiss parts in the suspension. They did a little bit of a custom job in the back and everything else that you clearly can see in our photo gallery. I think even the leaf springs were ordered from Hotchkiss. So again, it has a really, really nice undercarriage, a lot of upgrades. Even the front suspension on this car, it's adjustable. It's got QA1 adjustable coilovers in the front, so you can adjust the height and everything so you don't get any wheel rub when you turn and so forth. So again, it just goes on and on and on. I think I've covered as much as I could about the car. Again, if you want to check out our website for a full description, you can see that at msclassiccars.com. Make sure to check out all the photos as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get inside the vehicle. I'm going to do a cold start so you can listen to how beautiful it runs. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now I'm back inside the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and do a cold start so you can listen to how beautiful it runs. Before I do that, I would like to mention, if you would like to follow MS Classic Cars closer, please sign up for our VIP email blast. We have thousands of people that are subscribed to that. We would also ask that you follow us on social media. We are on all the social media platforms. Again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, we are there. So please make sure to follow us as well. In regards to this particular cold start here, this is a big block. It's got a lot of horsepower. A lot of times they can be very temperamental when you do a cold start. But at MS Classic Cars, again, we've really dialed these vehicles in so they start nice even when they're cold. We sort them out and they run beautiful. Regarding running beautiful, we normally would do a driving video, especially if the roads were clear on a nice day. Unfortunately, we've been hit really hard over the last few months in New England with bad weather. The streets right now are full of snow, salt, sand, etc. So I won't be doing a driving video, but this will give you a really good idea of how well it runs. I will give it a few revs so you can hear how aggressive it sounds as well. I've driven this car multiple times. You can take it from me that it runs and drives absolutely beautiful. So let's go ahead and start her up. Let you listen how beautiful she runs. Fires right up. And right now it's idling around 1,000 RPMs. It's literally been seconds. You can see how awesome it runs. As it gets warmer, it even runs better. We appreciate you watching. Rock and roll. You know what? We normally don't do this at MS Classic Cars during these videos, but I got to show you something. This car is still cold. I got out, you can hear the buzzer still works. Check this out. Outside the vehicle, running for 1 minute, you can bump this vehicle 572 crate motor, 620 horsepower. You can't make that up.